If I could have your attention here in the deadline room, we are now joined by the pole sitter for Sunday's STP 500 here at Martinsville Speedway, Kyle Larson. Kyle, it pays to be atop the point standings here, and you're going to get that starting spot. How much of an advantage do you find that for you going into Sunday's STP 500?
Yeah, I think it'll be a good advantage. You're there to start on the pole. Hopefully, you'll get the jump and kind of take care of my stuff early. That number one pit stall will be big here. It seems like the number one pit stall here is as good as it gets for any racetrack we go to. So excited about that. And yeah, our race car though was a little bit too tight, I thought, in practice. So we'll work on that some for tomorrow and hopefully be good.
Okay, we'll go to Lee and then to Jacob.
Yeah, I'm not sure if because we have less downforce or what coming around this time, if that makes the wheel hop worse. But yeah, I got caught off guard there, early in the first run that I did, wheel hopping, almost wrecking into one, and then I thought maybe my tires were just cold or whatever. So backed my entry and backed my braking up, and then just start to try and get more and more out of it. And yeah, I wheel hopped again and had another moment. So yeah, it feels a little weird. I feel like I've driven in harder and harder, used more brake pressure in the past than I have so far today, and the braking was a little sketchy. So I'm sure we'll work on that a little bit and hopefully get better for tomorrow.
Go to your left to Jacob.
Jacob Newman, Performance Motorsports Network. Matt said it pays to be leading the points, and a lot of that comes from the fact that you're the only driver to have scored stage points in every race and every stage that we've had this season, and now you start on the pole. Denny Hamlin was in here earlier and said that track position in these stages at Martinsville is so critical to keep racking up those points. How easy or difficult is it going to be using the track position you've already got to stay up front for most of the day?
Well, it definitely helps to start up front. Yeah, I think this will be my most difficult track probably to, earn stage points, each of the stages, just because it's not a track that suits me that well. So this is the toughest track for me. So cool to be the only guy that's made points every stage. I think the stage points are a big deal to gain points and help point your way to the playoffs if need be. So yeah, it's been nice to run so strong early in the year, especially all throughout the race, because like I said, those stage points have turned out to be really big and important.
We'll come up front to Hank and then to Barry.
Hank Kurz with AP. Kyle, you've referenced your kind of struggles here several times, but what did you do when you finished third here that was different, or was that just dumb luck?
So I was thinking about that a little bit, and I think I've gotten better here for sure. Our race car got a lot better last year, but then I remember it being really cold outside, I think, that first race, so the track didn't lay a whole lot of rubber, so it didn't wear out tires as bad, so I could be more, or I guess not be more aggressive, but me being more aggressive didn't wear the tires out quite as bad, so I was a little bit better on long runs and stuff then, and stayed up front and had a good race.
Next to Barry.
Barry Richmond, Piedmont Broadcast and WAKG. You touched on this earlier today and maybe just a moment ago, but you talked about struggling here at Martinsville. Mile and a halves and the like, you tend to make use of the entire track. Is it just a configuration of this track and not necessarily having as many lines to contend with that maybe doesn't suit your style as much as you would prefer as it is on the mile and a halves?
Yeah, Martinsville here is really small, and then it's extremely flat. No progressive banking or whatever. So that makes it why it's one lane around here, and kind of frustrating for a guy like me who likes to move around, but also exciting for race fans because it is so small, and you have to use the bumper to get by people sometimes. So I actually liked so last year for the second race, they tried that VHT or whatever, a couple weeks before the event, and had like a test or a late model test or something, and they didn't really like it, so they thought they had taken it all off, but they were still a little bit up there. And I thought the second race last year was really good because you kind of run that lane up and you move around. So I wish they could do it again, but I don't think they've got it down on the track this time around.
Do we have any additional questions for Kyle Larson? Kyle? Oh, we'll go here to Dustin.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Just in talking about that, with the new right side tire, how much, if it's supposed to rubber up a little bit more, how much might that help in helping move up, or are you going to need it to be a really hot day for really to kind of take to the surface?
No, I thought I noticed there, and maybe Chase did as well, but I thought it laid rubber way faster than it has in the past. At least you could see it, and maybe, because I was tight, maybe I just felt it more. But to me, it seemed like it laid rubber a lot easier. So that'll definitely impact the race and probably make it a better race and probably allow the groove to move around some, because I think people's cars will not handle the way they want them to, and they'll kind of chase the car up the track a little bit to stay out of that rubber. So yeah, I don't know, maybe get that same kind of racing effect as what we did with the VHT.
Okay, well, Kyle, we'll let you go. Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
We are now joined by the driver who will start on the outside of the front row for Sunday's STP 500 here at Martinsville Speedway, and that is none other than Chase Elliott, driver of the number 24 Sun Energy 1 Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. Mother Nature must like these young guns here in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. How advantageous is it for you to start on the front row?
Yeah, for any time I can do anything good at Martinsville is great for me. So it's been a bit of a struggle here, and we'll definitely take it. So I think more than anything, have a nice pit pick, and hopefully we can get our car dialed in tomorrow to try to stay there. We'll definitely got a big help with that today.
Okay, we will open the floor for questions. You have a question for Chase, please raise your hand. We'll start with Jacob.
Jacob Seelman, Performance Motorsports Network. Chase, I know we've all talked about it in this room. When is it going to come? When are you going to get to victory lane? But everybody's been talking so far today about track position being so critical here, and that leading to success here for you. Being able to start up front and have that confidence of a good pit pick, and hopefully being able to be in the top 10 for a lot more of the early stages of the race. Does that help you be able to potentially be in contention for that win on Sunday?
I think if you have your car driving well and you know what you're doing here, I don't really think it matters where you start. Jimmy Johnson's going to prove us all how much it matters and where you start here on Sunday. So watch him move forward, and you'll see a guy who knows what he's doing and knows how to pass and has his car driving like he needs to be really good. So I think if you know what you want, you know how to do it, I think you can start wherever you want. I've tried to lean on everybody I can lean on, so just trying to figure it out.
Additional questions for Chase Elliott? Bob, and then to Dustin, and then to Lee.
I'm Bob Pockris, ESPN. I've asked some of the other guys. Have you used a biometric device, and have you learned anything from it, from the data?
Yeah, I think for whatever reason, it seems like that seems to be a trend right now. I don't really know why everybody's doing it. I haven't worn mine in the car very much. I can, you all know when you're trying hard and when you're not trying hard. But, I've certainly worn it away from racing and riding mountain bikes and things like that. And you kind of learn where your heart rate likes to be and when you're trying hard, what it is and when it's not. But I haven't experimented much with it in the car just yet. I don't like things on my wrist when I'm racing. So until I can find a more comfortable way to do it, then I'm probably not going to for right now.
Go next to Dustin, then to Lee.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. I'm curious just about the All-Star event. There's been talk in the past about doing this, and it's never been done, and I think some people kind of talked about even looking forward, is if there is a way to incorporate drivers in other series, whether it's Xfinity trucks and things like that. You're somebody who just, recently came up. What would it mean, or would you want that opportunity? And two, now that you're a Cup guy, do you look at it as if it's an all-star event, it should just be Cup only as opposed to those from the other series, even for how good they may be?
So you're asking if to run Cup cars or whatever. I mean, that's a good question. I don't really know. I mean, I'm not necessarily against it on one front, but it's just going to be really hard to do. I don't know how you're going to incorporate other people, you know, because you're not going to get some of these Cup teams that have just Cup cars to go and put together another type of car to run it. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not really against it. I just don't think there's a very good way to do it, per se.
We'll go to Lee, then to Zach, and then to Jeff.
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. What does the new job entail with Hooters, and is that uniform just a hoax?
No, it's a legit deal. We're on board. Hooters. I am a. You saw my desk, right? Oh, hey, yeah, it's my desk. Yeah. The uniform? Well, I mean, the uniform is you got to have a uniform if you want to work somewhere, right? So that's my uniform. Oh, would he? I don't know about that.
Good at Zach.
Zach Tansworthy, French Touch. It's 2 years since your Cup debut. So just go back to that day. You know, what it was like for you. I bet there was a lot of pressure. Now 2 years back, how much has changed?
Well, unfortunately, not much has changed at Martinsville as I would like it to have changed for me since that day. But, you know, definitely a bit of a different feel. You know, coming back here and having a couple races under your belt never hurts. I can't say I feel any better about Martinsville than I did that first time. You know, it's still a place that I haven't really got my head around yet, and how I want to approach the race. I think I've gotten better here since the first time we raced here a few years ago, but it's still, and I think the last race here was the most improved I've ever run here. It wasn't great, and we weren't anywhere close to where the leaders were, but we were way better for me. So hopefully we can try to take that and get it a little better and just try to keep moving forward. So it's definitely a challenge.
Any additional questions for Chase? We'll go to Barry.
Chase, Barry Richmond, Piedmont Broadcast and WAKG. You talked about getting to know Martinsville, learning to get around, and Jimmy Johnson touched on that earlier when he said early in his career it took him a while to get Martinsville. Are there any other tracks on the circuit that give you that same challenge that you're still working through?
I mean, I'm working through a lot of racetracks for sure. Martinsville and Sonoma are, to me, the two that I feel like I need to work on the most. I mean, that's not to say there's not other places I need to work on. I think I need to do some of that at other places as well. But I think Martinsville and Sonoma are the two places that seem to give me the most struggles last year. So just trying to work through that. I think some of the things that you see here at Martinsville are some of the same things that you see at Sonoma, with how tight the corners are and how slow some parts of the racetrack are. So I think there's some similarities there, and hopefully if one can be corrected, the other one will come along with it.
Any additional questions for Chase? Chase, thanks for taking the time to join us, and good luck tomorrow and on Sunday.
Okay, thanks.